So this video is gonna be very, very special and I'm so excited about it. So a little over 4 months ago, I participated in this MBSR training program. And for those of you that don't know, MBSR stands for Mindfulness-Based Stress Reduction. And I absolutely loved it. I thought it was amazing. I thought it was life-changing. And it was a type of thing where I was like, where has this been all my life? And I just think it's so important for everyone to hear, especially during a time like this. So I decided to invite my instructor onto my channel to talk about mindfulness and meditation and basically what it is, how to do it, the different practices, and the benefits of it. And his name is TURFE. He's a school psychologist and he is a certified instructor of MBSR. And he's just so passionate about this. He's so knowledgeable and he just knows his stuff. He's incredible, which is why I'm so excited about this video. And I just want to let everyone be aware today that his email is right here, is going to be doing another MBSR training program starting in January of 2021, so the new year. And it's basically just going to be an 8-week program. It's going to be fully, completely online on Zoom. So no matter where you live, you can participate in this program. And all you got to do is show up for a couple hours a week, and he's going to have 3 time slots for you guys to choose from, so whatever fits with your schedule. And the best thing about this, guys, is get ready for it. The best part is that it's going to be absolutely free. Guys, it's going to be free. You guys, and this is so hard to find. There's so many training, like MBSR training programs out there that cost so much money, but he wants to give this to you guys for free. So this is like, this opportunity is like honestly amazing. And guys, honestly, no matter how old you are, you can do this. You can participate in this. This stuff, 16 years old can do it, 80-year-olds can do it. It doesn't matter about the age, and it's never too late or too early to do this, to be a part of this. So please, please give it a shot. Try it out. Tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, tell your neighbors. Share this information with them. Do it with your family if you want to. Do it with your friends. And if you guys look at the time slots and they don't fit with your schedule, but you're still interested in doing this, he also does this kind of hour drop-in practice on Zoom every Monday and Friday. You basically come in for an hour, you meditate and leave. It's so simple. He's doing it and he wants more people to kind of hear this message, and I want to help him spread this message. So I'm telling you guys this. So again, please email him if you guys have any questions or any comments, or if you want to just have a conversation about mindfulness and meditation, if you want to do his program, if you want to just do the hour meditation practices every Monday and Friday, his email is right here. And I know this video is going to be long. I haven't edited it yet, but I know it's going to be long. But I just think it's so important for you guys to hear. So grab your snacks, grab your popcorn, grab your drinks, grab your blankets if it's cold, and just relax and enjoy this video. And for those of you who really don't have that much time to watch this video, I will include timestamps in the description below for you guys to kind of listen in on the topics that you want to hear. All the information will be in my description. And I hope you guys really enjoy this video.
Hi, Amanda.
TURFE.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, good, good. Hey.
It's good to see you again.
Nice to see you. Nice to see you. I was like...
So I wanted to bring you here again because I know like how crazy the world is right now. And I think that people out there really need to hear like the power of mindfulness and meditation and using it in your everyday life, not just setting aside 10 minutes a day to meditate, but also like incorporating it all day, every day, and just being mindful and being in the present moment. So to you, like, what is mindfulness and meditation? Like, what really is it?
For me, mindfulness is it's about being present in the moment and aware and connected to the moment. It's building focused attention, awareness of our thoughts, emotions, sensations, non-judgmentally, and not being reactive, and being present to the moment, awareness of the moment, because the only thing we have is the moment. And the more we can be present to it, the more we're experiencing life, getting out of our heads and into our bodies. And not living life on automatic, not just caught up in patterns that we just live automatically, and we're aware of the moment. Then that gives us choice and can give us freedom from the stress and pains and loss and challenges that we have in our life. Mindfulness is about awareness, building more awareness. And that's really at the heart of it, is the awareness. Mindfulness is not meditation. We practice meditation to build mindfulness. But mindfulness is awareness, presence, and connectivity, so that we can see reality with clarity. And it's about bringing us into reality, not trying to escape, not trying to get caught up in some fantasy or check out our life. It's not, trying to have a blank mind or to be emotionless or escape pain. It's about being present in the moment, of being in reality. Whatever's happening in our heads, memories, the narrative, doubt, the commentary, the chatter, all of the emotions that come and go, they come and go. We learn how to have a relationship with them and not fight them or resist them, but learn how to accept whatever is coming up inside of us in this moment. But it's cultivating a relationship. But first, it's cultivating a relationship with ourselves, deep inside of us. And that's why we sit and meditate, is to get connected to our core, to our essence, to the wisdom of our body, first and foremost, as a starting point. Because from a mindfulness perspective, our core and our essence is already complete. We're perfect at our core and our essence. And so we're tapping into that completeness, that wholeness that exists already inside of us. And the goal really is being, to live life in a state of being, because we're human beings. So shifting from doing to being, and being means that you're just connecting to your core and your essence. And that's where we're moving in mindfulness, is to the state of being.
I really loved how you mentioned, it's not about letting things go, but just being with it. The biggest discovery I had with meditating and being mindful is that your mind is going to create these negative, uncomfortable, unwanted thoughts, and that's normal, that's the human mind. But it's not about pushing it away, because if you do that, it only gets bigger. It's about just noticing it, feeling it, and just letting it go and bringing your awareness back to the present moment. And it's such a powerful thing when you do that. And then it just goes away. And then when it goes away, everything just becomes so peaceful.
Yeah, and mindfulness is our true nature. What we're doing is we're just tapping into our true nature. Mindfulness is at the core of everything. It's at the heart of everything we do in life, is mindfulness. And all we're doing, and that's our nature, the only thing that we're doing is we're taking it up some notches, developing it. It's wisdom, deep, deep, deep wisdom is what it is. What we're looking at here, mindfulness is so focused on this moment, being present with what is coming up right here, right now, and being witness to it, and whether it's pleasant or unpleasant, whether it's difficult or not difficult, or whether it's wanted or not wanted, being present with it, acknowledging it, building a relationship with it, putting the welcome mat out, whatever is coming, and accepting it. Bring kindness to it, bring compassion, bring gratitude, hospitality. Because we know that the way the mind works, whatever arises will fade. So once we have this awareness of internally what's happening with us, we can see what's happening. It's like going to a movie. Just sit and watch the movie. It's just passing through. The movie is not real. I mean, it's not really real, but it's in our imagination and our, you know, we're experiencing something through this film, right? Well, internally it's the same thing. There's a movie that's unfolding inside of us. But the problem is we think it's real, and then we react to it. And then that's where the stress goes up, and that's when we start to have all kinds of problems in our lives. So if we can see the thoughts, emotions, whatever it is, the narrative, the memories, the self-doubt, the inner critic, the negative self-talk, all this stuff that's coming through us all the time. What mindfulness is teaching us is to become skillful in how we manage what comes through us. By how? By sitting and observing. Observation. The more we observe, we begin to see, okay, here's the narrative coming through. Oh, these memories, okay, oh, here's this worry, this fear, this anxiety. Oh, this is coming through. I'm watching it, see what it has to offer. Maybe it doesn't have much to offer. And just knowing what you were learning is not to react to it, not to attach, not to identify, not to cling to it, but just be with it and bring acceptance to it. And what happens, you'll find when you do that, when you practice on a regular basis, that your internal stress will go down. Not only will go down, it stays down. If you continuous practice, your internal stress will go down. Even though maybe in the outside world, there's a lot of drama going on, a lot of chaos, whatever it is happening externally. But internally, it's because you've learned how to manage your mind. And that's what this really is. It's about managing, understanding the mind. What are the laws of the mind? This is time tested. It's only, it's coming to us here on the scene just recently, last 40 years, I've done research here on it. We have evidence now, empirical evidence that it works. That's why it's used in the hospitals. MBSR is used in hospitals across the world because we have the evidence that it works. But this has been around here for a long, long time. It really is, in my mind, the most powerful tool on the surface of the earth for managing and understanding the mind that is available to everyone. It's available to everyone. Because what do you have to do to get mindfulness? Sit, observe the mind, use an anchor, whatever anchor works for you to bring the mind home, and just observe. But the problem is, it's hard work. Because you got to go to the gym. This is going to the gym to pump the weights, the hard work. This is the mind gym. You got to go to the mind gym. Same concept. As we do the muscles, build the muscles, we got to build this mind. What happens is the more you do the formal practice, you build a bigger container. And this container is awareness. And so the more awareness you build, your bigger container. So maybe my container when I started was like this big. But after this meditation, building more awareness, I have a bigger container. Why is that important? Because when my container was this big, and if something came at me, some stress came, it would overflow. I flipped my lid. I couldn't handle it. I was overwhelmed, right? But now because I have a bigger container, and this container is awareness, that's what we're building with mindfulness awareness, I can hold whatever comes, bring it on. I can hold it. I can hold it. And I'm not overwhelmed. I still have difficulties and challenges in life, but I'm not reacting to it. But no, I can be with it. Whatever's coming, I can be with it. Because as long as I'm feeling my feet touch the ground, I'm scanning my body, aware of my breath, I'm in the present moment, I can deal with the present moment. So mindfulness is giving me the skills to deal with the present moment.
So for people who haven't done this before, like who haven't ever meditated, how can you do it or incorporate mindfulness and meditation more in your life? Just explain how you can do it for people who've never done it before.
Yeah. A good place to start, because it's a training. It really is it's really like going to the gym and working out.
But for your mind.
Yeah, but what you're doing here is for your mind. Just going to the mind. I mean, we spend a lot of time going to the gym, you know, working hard. It's great. We get the benefit. You know, lots of health benefits. We feel great, got energy, right? Fantastic when we exercise, right? This is the same concept, but we got to go to a different gym. Got to go to the mind gym, right? And so a good place to start is one practice is called 2 feet, 1 breath. So just becoming aware of your feet touching the ground, and then aware of your breath. It's that awareness of the breath and awareness of your feet, awareness of your body that puts you into the present moment. And so the moment that you become aware that your mind is wandering off, if you're aware that your mind is wandering, then that's mindfulness. You see, often our minds are wandering, but we're not aware.
True.
So we don't have the mind skills, is what it is. We're lacking training and understanding how to manage this mind. So I would say the first thing is just becoming, you know, aware of your feet touching the ground. Like anytime you're feeling distress, or you know, you want to be present in this moment, just focus on your feet touching the ground and awareness of your breath. That brings the mind home to the body. And that just take a couple seconds.
Yeah, and when the mind wanders, I like how you say, like, if it wanders 1,000 times, bring it back 1,000 times.
Yes, because what we're doing is really cultivating a relationship with the mind. It's not like I'm gonna go fight this thing or gonna, you know, get in the battle with it, or no, it's a relationship. So when we sit and observe the mind and we notice, oh, okay, there it goes, it's off somewhere else, you know, caught up in something, that's fine. Just gently bring it back to the anchor, to the body or to the breath, or maybe sound, you know, different anchors that we use. We use an anchor. It's just like a big ship, you know, you got an anchor when it's in the harbor, keeps it in place. You need an anchor for the mind to keep it in place. Because, you know, mind, its nature is like, it's like to do this number all over the place. It's like
and it's not easy to like meditate, especially for the first time, because the mind does keep wandering, but just as long as you keep practicing and like keep going with it.
Yes, yeah. And a lot of people who come into the mindfulness training that I give, you know, it's initially it's a little challenging because their mind is wandering over, and they're like, you know, how are you going to train it to be focused, to be right here? Well, it just takes time. It requires time to develop the skills, the neural connections, and you need to do it every day, and then you'll train the mind. It's like, you know, when you have a puppy, you know, the puppy likes to go all over the place, and you got to train that puppy, right, to you know, bring it in. And the mind's kind of the same thing. Its nature is to want to go all over the place, right? But we need to learn as human beings is, what tools do I need to bring the mind in close so I can see what's happening, and I'm not just reacting to the mind. And often we live our lives just reacting to it, but not understanding what is actually happening, what's present. So every time this mind wanders off, no worries, no problems. Just view it as an opportunity to get to know the mind, because now you get a chance to build a relationship with it and bring it back home. This observation and attention that we have is our true power. And then now what we're saying is we're going to direct that attention and observation onto the mind. Once that happens, life changes. It just, in that observation of the mind, things change. Because anytime you direct your attention onto something, whatever it is you're directing that attention onto, it's going to impact it. So imagine you directing your attention onto your mind, and you do it every day. And you sit down, whether it's 5 minutes, 10 minutes, half hour, an hour, whatever, you sit and you just observe your mind. Change is going to happen. Significant change will happen. When you want to find what really is going to bring you happiness and joy, it's already inside. You know, it's already inside. You're hardwired for joy already. Abundance of joy on the inside. The challenge is, how do I access the joy? How do I access the love? Stillness, silence, pausing, just observing. In order to do what? To build awareness. And why? Because the more awareness I have, the more I can see what's happening, what's coming up inside of me. This moment gives me choice. I'm no longer enslaved to automaticity and automatic habitual reactions. So it helps me break out of these cycles, these patterns that that evolved from my life experience, causing me more pain and suffering. And thinking that, well, that's how I have to live life. That's what life is. That's what I know life is. But it's really not that. So what we're doing with mindfulness, and that's really, for me, the beauty here. I mean, really, what I feel so strong about this, just personally, it's connecting me to the deepest part of my being. That is, for me, the treasure in all of this, really. Imagine, I'm connecting to the deepest part of my being. It's really the highest form of self-compassion when you sit and observe your mind. That is high form, high expression of compassion, self-compassion, and kindness. Because you're coming to see what is happening inside of you. All the beautiful things and the things that are not so beautiful. All of it. We just take the whole package. But we learn to be with it. So if I accept everything that's inside of me, the light and the dark, and I appreciate that about myself, I can see that in other people, and I can appreciate that in other people, and not expect other people to be perfect. So it makes me more whole as a human being, more complete. It's really a exploration of your inner world, your mind.
What would you say to people who are afraid to do that, who are afraid to kind of like explore inside?
Yeah, and it can be scary, I think that's normal, it's human, and always listening to yourself, listening to what feels right for you, and because we're really building trust here. We're building trust with yourself is what we're building. Mindfulness is really cultivating trust with ourselves. So you move at a pace that works for you, and just listen and see what feels right in terms of this practice. And I think always being kind to ourselves and listening and see what works, what feels right. Because it's about our journey. It's about your personal journey. Your journey is unique, and your truth is your truth. It's different from anyone else's truth. So, but how do you come to access your truth? It requires pausing, observing, opening up, allowing whatever's coming up inside of me, being present to it, and then expressing whatever that is that's coming up inside of me. Because that's my truth. If I can allow what's inside of me to be expressed and connect to it and say, well, that's who I am. That's, that is deepest and most meaningful inside of me, which is different for everyone. So it's not like the same template. Like, your life is supposed to look like this person or that person. Mm-hmm. No, you're unique. The peace and the calm and the joy and the happiness is when we're connected deep inside.
Yeah, so don't be afraid, because once you really connect to that true deep inner self, it's like the most beautiful thing in the world.
Yeah, because otherwise, you're caught up in something. Mm-hmm. What happens, Amanda, is on the surface of the mind, right, is all this stuff happening. Emotions, these thoughts, memories, rumination, drama. As we go through our day, we're seeing all this stuff that's just coming through, right? And we think, well, that's life. The problem is it's not life. And what we're learning with mindfulness is to go below the turbulence, those storms that come through. And how do you go below? Well, when you go below, you find the calmness, you find the peace, you find the ease. How do you go below? Stillness, silence, pausing. Imagine you living your life, going through this whole life, and not really having a relationship with your mind. It seems kind of bizarre to think of. Like no one has ever trained us how to have a relationship with our minds. And yet this mind is going to impact every minute of our day, of our lives. Because we watch the narrative every day. We go to the movie. We go to the theater, by the way, every day. We spend a lot of time at the theater, by the way, every day.
Yeah, I always say it's like a river, like thoughts and like your emotions, feelings are like a river. They're just like passing by.
We're sitting at the theater all day long watching it and thinking that this is who I really am. And so imagine if you watch this every day, that becomes the truth. Right? Because you've seen it so many times, but maybe you haven't been able to question or challenge it or know how to deal with it, whatever, but you just see the same story about who you are every day.
So Mr. Turfey, you're saying that your thoughts are not true.
Thoughts are not facts. When thoughts arise, observe them, see what's there. Maybe something there that's, if you want to observe, something there that's helpful. Maybe there's something there, but most of the time they're just thoughts. But we think that they're true. That's the problem. We think that they're just an observable phenomenon. Their thoughts kind of come up in our minds, just like the clouds. We had some clouds in the sky today. They just arise like puffs of cloud, like a bubble. Those air bubbles when you're in the water. There's little air bubbles that come up. That's all a thought is. It's just like an air bubble or a cloud. It arises in our minds, and you can sit and observe it and see this happening. And then what happens? Then all of a sudden it just dissolves, and then disappears.
It goes away. But when you attach, or you,
then when you do this to the thought. And that's when we start to really experience more stress in our lives and more suffering or problems or conflicts, because we think that thought, I know that's a fact. That's I'm not gonna ever let go of that. Things like, oh my word, So then that's when we really begin to suffer, is when we cling to the thoughts. The other side of this is why with mindfulness we're saying, okay, look, it's not all, the mind is not all here. The mind is from the top of your head down to your toes, your feet. That's the whole mind, right? And so what we're trying to do is we're trying to get out of the head and into the rest of the mind, so we can access all the resources that we have in this body. But in our culture, we limit our activity to up here in our heads. Why am I not using the rest of the mind to help me along on my journey in this life? Why am I limiting myself just to what's up here? So we're expanding ourselves. We're tapping into more resources, cultivating more resources. The body is loaded, the mind is loaded with wisdom. In order to access this wisdom, deep, profound wisdom, we got to sit and observe, because it's there.
And you can seriously do this just by sitting and just watching your mind.
That's it. And this has been done for thousands and thousands of years. It's nothing new. It's just now it's coming new to our culture. We're waking up to it because we have so much evidence now, lots of research, more than this year alone, there's more than 1,200 peer-reviewed professional articles published in professional journals, scientific journals this year on mindfulness alone. So there's an explosion of research because it's redefining reality for us, and we're just at the beginning stages of this. It's going to have profound impact on the culture because it produces results.
And I want people to understand that, I love how you said this during the program, is that you have to be consistent with this, because change will not happen overnight, or if you do this in a week or even 2 weeks. It's about consistently doing this every day.
Yes, yeah. See, I think often we think, okay, if I meditate, take a meditation class, meditate here or there or something, I'll be okay, Yeah, but this is like going to the gym. I mean, you go to the gym once a month or once a year. I mean, are you gonna get results? I mean, you go to the gym every day and work out for a half an hour. Come back in a month or 2 or 3 months to see what you got, because you'll have some real significant results.
Mm-hmm.
The mind is a part of this body, and just like how your muscles react or activities that you do react to the exercise, the mind reacts the same concept, same process applies to the mind. It needs to be exercised every day.
So consistency is key with this.
The key is consistency. Now, do you have to sit for an hour every day? No. I mean, but you got 5 minutes? Can you sit? Can you attend to your mind for 5 minutes and just sit and observe it? I mean, that's what you're talking about. So it doesn't, I mean, you know, of course, if you do more time, you get more results. But it's an investment in yourself, cultivating the endless resources inside of you. It will support you on your journey through this life.
Again, you can do this by seriously just sitting there and just observing the mind and then just accepting what's coming and going. But I want to stress that accepting, meaning that like you're not accepting that the thoughts are true, but rather you're accepting what's happening.
That's a very important point you're making, Amanda, that you're not like accepting it as you agree with it. You're just accepting the actuality that this is happening right now. You know, maybe I have this worry coming up right now inside of me. I accept it. It's coming up. I don't necessarily want it, or, you know, or
think it's true, or it is
true, or agree with it, or, you know, but I'm acceptance of it, you know, because the thing is, whatever comes up in this moment is going to come up.
Mm-hmm.
And so if I can accept what comes up in this moment by moment, it reduces my stress.
Yeah, I just think that's huge, because when I heard acceptance before, it's just like, I thought it was kind of acceptance in a way that it's true, or it's a part of me, but it's not. It's kind of the opposite, just accepting that the thoughts are there and like observing them and then just letting them go and just watching them fall away.
Yeah. That's so important, because the acceptance is huge in mindfulness, that this concept and cultivating this concept. If I accept it, it means I can be with it. And then it means I don't get caught up in conflict with it or attaching or identifying with it. I just accept it. Say, okay, it's coming. Because I know that whatever comes up this minute is just going to fade away. So why am I going to cling on to something that's going to fade away? In that acceptance is the kindness. That's how, you know, so how do you bring kindness to the unwanted or undesirable? It's in the acceptance and creating more space for it. That is the compassion and the kindness to that unwanted. I'm accepting it. And I can see what's there. Maybe that unwanted has some information for me. I can look at it, see it has something to offer, maybe not. But then I know that it will go on its way.
Yeah, I love that. And it's so peaceful when that happens. When you just, it's so interesting, Mr. because when you're just like observing your mind and you're just watching thoughts come and go, it's so peaceful in a way that you know that like a lot goes on, but it's inside of it, it's like quiet.
Right. Yeah. When you go below the surface, it's quiet.
Yeah. So can you, Mr. Turfey, can you go over like different practices people can use to do this? I know like the body scan or like walking meditation, and like briefly just describe what to do and like what they are.
Yeah. So there's sitting meditation. I mean, the meditation can be done. Those are formal practices. Mm-hmm. Where you sit or you could stand. I often, when I meditate, I'm standing. I feel just works better for me. You know, some people may be sitting on the mat when they sit. You know, they have like a pillow they sit on and so forth. So there's no like a certain way that has to be done or certain like ritual, or it's really very flexible. And then that's a sitting meditation. Then you have like a body scan, where we scan the body we just kind of go through it part by part and focusing our attention on the parts of the body. It's usually a guided practice, and that can be done lying down, or again, it can be done standing or sitting. It can be done. The body scan helps us develop an awareness of the body. And that's what the foundation of mindfulness is, awareness of the body. So that's very important practice. There is walking meditation and feeling your feet touch the ground. And so there's formal and informal. So, formal is when you just really focus on, each step and feeling it and becoming aware of each movement. And you may do that just kind of walking back and forth in a designated area. And it's just all you're doing is developing awareness of your feet touching the ground, that connection to the ground. Because the more that you have that awareness of your feet connected to the ground, the easier for you it is to drop into mindfulness. And that eventually becomes more of a default for you. So when stress hits, all of a sudden you're just feeling your feet touch the ground. That happens like automatically, right? Because all these new neural connections have been created because you've been practicing this walking meditation by observing your feet touch the ground. And then you can do that as you're going through your day. When you get out of your car to go to open your front door, you can just do that space, that distance as a meditation practice, just becoming aware of my feet, every step I'm taking. And what you'll find is that your mind all of a sudden is right here, and you find yourself more at ease. So that's a walking meditation. And the walking meditation is the most important form of meditation because it's available to us. It's accessible.
And we do it so much throughout our day.
Yes. Yeah. So it's there. It's just more becoming aware of it and cultivating the practice. When you do that, like the formal practice, and then you do the informal as you're going through your day. Mindful eating practice. Eating is a meditation practice, a mindfulness practice. So when you're sitting down to eat, maybe taking a spoonful of food and really taking time to use all the senses to smell it, to taste it, feel it, look at it, and just, little by little, really experiencing all the senses as you're eating. That one spoonful, for example, that's mindfulness practice. Because we're building awareness of the senses, and the senses are critical to help us as a access to the mind. And then there's yoga. Yoga is a mindfulness practice. Those are the formal practices that we typically do in mindfulness. The yoga and it could be like Tai Chi or any of these practices where you're focused on the body, the present moment, and connecting with yourself. But the meditation, you say, well, if mindfulness is not meditation, why do we do so much of it? Because the meditation is so effective. It's just so effective.
So, Mr. Turfey, what time of the day, if they want to do sitting meditation or body scan, is it better to do it in the morning, in the night, or is it just preference?
That's a good question, because it really depends on what works for you. Some people are morning people, some people are evening, some people may be at noon. I do a formal sit every morning, and I do formal sit in the evening. Those things are automatic for me as formal, where I sit and just practice. But I like when I'm going through my day doing the informal walking meditation wherever I'm at, always tune into my feet touching the ground. That's just that awareness of the feet connected to the ground. Very, very powerful. And then the eating, when I'm eating, I try to slow down, instead of doing this number with food, right? Which we do because we're gotta go. Because really in mindfulness, the life is the curriculum. Your life is the curriculum. The life is the meditation. The life is the meditation. So when I'm speaking with someone, that is mindfulness practice. When I'm listening to someone talk, that is mindfulness practice. So it's not just thinking of it as the meditations, and those are formal practices, very important. But
in life.
But the life itself is the practice. And that's an important concept to get. Because often we may think, I'm going to go meditate. And then I've done my thing, I'm done. Okay, I'm done with it. Okay, then I go, no. It's the meditation is to get you ready for every step you take during the day.
So how can you be mindful with if you have like a very, very busy schedule and you're constantly just like you have to just go. Like what is the suggestion that you have for people who are
Yeah. That's a good question. Another technique that we use is called the S.T.O.P technique. S means acronym. S means stop or pause. Just pause. And this could be done 15 seconds. Just pause. Take a breath or two and tune into the sensations in your body. That's the T. And the O is open up. Observe. Open and observe. And then the P is to proceed. Now you have choice. You can decide to do this, do that. Because now you're not caught up in the automaticity. Because once you pause, the key is that pausing, stopping. So that's the key. Because, even when I'm working on my computer, right? And the emails are coming and, all of the Zoom meetings are coming at me and so forth. Before I open up that window, I can pause. Just pause. And that could just take a couple seconds. It's not like it's but in that pause that I do before I open up the email, now I'm into mindfulness. So imagine if every time I open up an email, before I open up an email, I just pause. Because the pausing brings you right into the here and now, into this moment.
So you can still be productive and busy and do a lot of work and also being mindful with it.
As a matter of fact, your productivity will increase with mindfulness. I mean, that's not the goal. But why do I say that? Because your attention is more focused. Your emotions are more regulated. You have more awareness. So if you have attention regulation, emotion regulation, you have awareness, you're going to be much more productive. It's about like being in very difficult situations, whatever that may be, and seeing it as an opportunity to cultivate your mindfulness. Because that's what mindfulness is about life. It's about living the life, about going through the life. We're going to go through, but we go through with confidence and trust. Why? Because we're connected to ourselves.
I love that, Mr. Turfey. Can you please go over kind of like you kind of went over it a little bit, but I want to like kind of re-go over it, is just like the benefits of mindfulness and meditation and using it in your everyday life.
Yeah, I mean, it's self-care. You're giving care to yourself. It frees you up from being imprisoned to the emotions, to all the thoughts, the anxieties that come up. It helps you to deal with it more effectively because now you're not reacting to it. The sadness, the worries, the frustrations, the fears, the depression, the hatred, whatever it is that comes up, you can be more free from it. It reduces the stress. So when you're aware of all these emotions or thoughts or experiences coming up inside, if you're aware of it, you can see them, you're not reacting to them, the internal stress goes down. And that's huge. That's huge because we have so much stress. And when you reduce the stress in your life, because what happens with stress, it creates all other kinds of health issues, with diabetes, with heart disease, stroke, that are tied to the disease, not necessarily causing it, but it's linked to these other diseases, chronic illnesses that we have in our society, killing a lot of people. So the stress is tied to everything in terms of health. So if we can bring that stress down, we're going to see an overall improvement in our health. We're bringing more compassion to ourselves, more kindness to ourselves, learning how to cultivate kindness and compassion. And I truly believe that that's, we say, well, people want happiness. That's where the happiness comes, is when we're being kind and compassionate to ourselves. And, in breaking out of we talk about those patterns that are destructive. So that's huge. So there's a lot of benefits, documented benefits.
There's like so many benefits. Like people like watching this can like just look it up online and just like see how many benefits there are.
And I think once people understand how powerful this is, I think people are going to really gravitate towards it, because they're going to see people are,
it works.
It works, right? I mean, we're pretty. Most people are like, give me something that works. That's all I know. And if something works, people are gonna want it, and because they want to see they don't want to suffer.
Yeah, and it's not just like, we're not just like speaking this from our experience only, but it's like proven that there's like lasting effect on the brain. And there's even this study done, Mr. Turfey, that this guy, he wanted to see like how it can change his structure of the brain and like the task that he does. So basically they gave him memory tests and they took pictures, like an MRI scan of his brain before he started meditating. And then he meditated for 8 weeks. And then later on, he did it again, the memory task and like the MRIs. And it shows that it literally changes the structure of the brain.
Yes.
And he did better on the memory tasks, and his reaction time was even less. Mm-hmm. So it's like proven that this stuff really works.
Right. And, it works. And at the same time, it's hard work, because you have to show up at the gym every day and do this. So I always like to tell that to the students when they come to class. It's hard work. I don't want to scare you.
Yeah, it's definitely not easy. When I went into your program, it was challenging. It's not easy, but it's just something that you have to work for, and something you have to consistently do to see results and to see like your life kind of transform.
It requires real work. It isn't like just I'm wishful thinking, or I'll meditate once a year or something. I'll get it. You're not gonna know. See, even like the mindfulness, you really are not gonna know mindfulness from reading the books and all that. I mean, you can't. It's important. The knowledge is important, but you're not gonna really know it
until you actually do it.
Until you practice it. Then you come to understand what this really is. You gotta practice it. If you want to understand it, you have to experience it. It's experiential.
Yeah, and I like how you said it really is experiential. Like you got to just, even for the formal practices, you have to find what like works best for you, and like what you like the most, or what you make the most progress with,
Right. It's allowing you to experience more moments of your life, and not get to the end of your life and realize you missed out on it. But you experience right now, and the next minute, and next minute. Get out of your head into the body.
Get out of your head and step into your life instead.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. I think for the people out there who may hear this, just encourage people to be open to this practice and understanding it, and see what it has to give you. See what it has to offer you, and because it's about you, it's about your life. It's about helping yourself. It's about caring for yourself. It's about cultivating kindness, compassion towards you. And we don't learn these things elsewhere, or it's not being offered in too many places where you learn how to be kind and compassionate to yourself. And that's an important skill to develop. Really help us on our journey in our lives, and we can be kind and compassionate to ourselves.
I could talk about this honestly forever, but can you, Mr. Turfey, give us like before we end this video, can you give us just like a very quick practice?
Oh, sure. Just drop in position that you're comfortable in, and becoming aware of your body, An awareness of your feet connected to the earth. And feeling your body breathing. And feeling your belly rising on an inhale and falling on an exhale. And becoming aware of your breath, the length of your breath, just as it is. Nowhere to go, nothing to do, just be present to this moment. And when you notice your mind wandering, which is what it does, gently and kindly bring it back home to the body, to the anchor. And putting the welcome mat out for whatever arises, whatever thoughts, emotions, memories, the narrative, chatter, the wanted, the unwanted, whatever arrives at your front door, welcoming all and offering gratitude and generosity. Because knowing whatever enters your front door will leave your back door. Whatever arises will fade. And being present to this moment. Breathe in and breathe out. Congratulations for practicing self-care, self-compassion, self-acceptance. And gratitude for connecting with each other. And gratitude for connecting with yourself. And gratitude for the stillness and the silence. And knowing that everything that you're seeking can be found in the stillness and the silence. And knowing that you have access to these internal resources at any time and anywhere.
Thank you so much, Mr. Turfey. Do you have any just final message to anyone that may be watching this?
Yeah, trust in yourself. Just trust in yourself.
So if you guys like this video, please give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for new videos every week. Hopefully every week. And I will see you guys very, very soon. And I'm doing this because I'm cold. Bye.